Kababayan LA, this is America's first and only daily talk show for and about the Filipinos. Nilalayon po ng programang ito na maitulay kayo sa mga kaganapan at mga balita sa ating pong inang bayan sa Pilipinas at maging tulay nyo rin sa mga kaganapan sa ating Filipino-American community dito naman po sa Amerika. But more importantly, we also try to connect ourselves to the bigger and more powerful Asian-American community. They say the different Asian ethnicities are the different building blocks, but together and collectively, as a whole, we can create a more powerful pan-Asian identity. And yan po ang nilalayon din. That was one of the objectives of the BANANA2 Conference. It's a bloggers conference that happened last Saturday in Studio City, and here's more. It was a gathering of bananas, coconuts, hapas, and fabulous people who are owning their identity, turning negative into positive, and collectively creating a voice for the Asian American community by writing on the World Wide Web. Asian Pacific Islander American bloggers from across the country attended the BANANA2 Bloggers Conference at the CBS Studios in Studio City last Saturday. The packed room reminded event co-founder Steve Wynn of why and how they started a few years ago.
Me and my friend Su, who's an esteemed colleague and critically acclaimed memoirist, we worked together for quite some time. We actually did some short films together to promote his book, and we had an idea that why not get all of our friends who are very, very influential people in the social media blogging world, and why not create an event that revolves around them, right? And so we can just share issues, like, discuss certain topics, themes, and like where the future is progressing, right? Not very many people showed up, but a lot of panelists came. So it was like a huge, 20 panel, 20-person panel going down, right? It was ridiculous. Like the number of panelists outnumbered the people, right?
Another co-founder, Su, who authored I Love You Are for White People, a memoir that talks about his experiences as an immigrant from Vietnam, noted that despite coming from different countries in Asia, Asian Americans have one thing in common, the shared and similar immigrant experiences. And though we may agree and disagree, there is power in discussion alone.
It's about providing an avenue or a space for colleagues. I consider all these bloggers my colleagues, for colleagues to come together and agree and disagree about certain things, but at the end of the day, realize that we're doing this for us meeting the Asian American people.
To underline the significance of this gathering, Asian American Justice Center President and Executive Director Karen Narasaki flew from Washington, D.C. over the weekend to lend support to the conference, which she considered very exciting for our community.
And one of the things that the Asian American Justice Center has been working on the last 20 years is trying to strengthen the Asian American voice so that we can speak on our own behalf, tell our own stories. And the new social media really gives us that opportunity. We don't have to depend on an editor or a producer to say that our stories are newsworthy. We can tell them ourselves. We start at the ethnic level, but we're building up and we're becoming more powerful.
Not lost on corporate America is this increasing power of the Asian community. American Airlines was only one of the sponsors that supported the conference.
We're happy to be here because we think the Asian community is really important, and we want to build a more interactive relationship with the Asian community.
Advertising is going to be spilling into social media, into communication engines, blogging networks, you name it. So as these places get wider, even mobile technologies, we're going to be able to push funding where it's most appropriate. Because it's not about millions of followers, it's about tens of thousands of followers. And if we can get a room like this with all these people all speaking on behalf of the corporation, it's simply something we look at.
And while waiting and preparing for this big Asian American breakout into mainstream through blogging, Steve has this advice for those wanting to share their opinions on the web.
You can't let other people influence what you want to say. Everyone has an individual voice, everyone has individual stories. They need to share and express them, and that's how I started. These are things that we have to share, and we'll continue that discussion from that point on.
Congratulations to all the organizers of that event. Truly a very empowering event for us Asians. And like we said earlier, one word that binds all of us, and that is immigration. And that is why we explain to you all the nuances, all the updates on immigration here on Kababayan LA American Dream when we return. Don't go away.